On this episode of the podcast, I asked ChatGPT, what's the problem with CrossFit? And man, ChatGPT wrote an essay on this topic. I'm going to feel what ChatGPT had to say, and I'm going to evaluate this answer for accuracy in this episode. So stick around.
Welcome to the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast, where we hear and learn from our coaches, CrossFitters, and Glen Ed community leaders. Now, here are your hosts, Dallas and Greg.
What is up, CrossFit Edwardsville community? I'm Coach G. I'm one of the coaching team here at CrossFit Edwardsville. And on this podcast, one of the things that we do is we answer questions about CrossFit. And I had the opportunity, the great pleasure of interviewing our future technological overlord, ChatGPT, the artificial intelligence that's going to become Skynet and take over the world and incite nuclear holocaust for all of humankind. I had asked ChatGPT to answer the question, what's the problem with CrossFit? Which, if you really think about it, that's a fairly complex question to ask with a lot of nuanced potential interpretations. But in this podcast, I'm going to share with you guys what ChatGPT had to say, what ChatGPT wrote as its answer. And man, ChatGPT wrote an essay on this topic. So without further ado, let's go and let's learn what ChatGPT had to say on this topic. So I'm going to switch over my screen and read. So, courtesy of ChatGPT, here's the answer. CrossFit, a high-intensity fitness program, has been subject to various criticisms and concerns. It's important to note that while there are legitimate concerns, not all of them apply to every individual or CrossFit gym. But here are some common issues raised by critics. I'm going to just do a little aside. This is Coach G speaking now. An aside that I continue to be astonished by the quality of writing by ChatGPT. This machine writes better than most college students that I've ever seen. And my wife is a professional communications instructor at SIU Edwardsville. I think that she would probably say the same. But I digress. Let us go into the multiple bullet points of ChatGPT's answer. So, number one, high injury risk. CrossFit workouts often involve complex and demanding exercises performed under fatigue, which can increase the risk of injury, especially for beginners or those without proper guidance. The intense nature of CrossFit may lead to pushing beyond one's limits, potentially resulting in improper form and overexertion. That's point number one. This is an interesting topic because ChatGPT does a very, very good job of including qualifiers like may cause this, may potentially be that, which another is a sign of intelligence. This machine does a very good job of qualifying its answers that, hey, if you are moving poorly, moving with poor technique, moving with poor form, you could hurt yourself. That is undeniable. That is absolutely true. The good news is, in practice at CrossFit Edwardsville, the coaches require us to move with excellence. That's the expression around here, is moving with excellence. Great form, great technique. Do that before you try and go faster. Do that before you try and lift bigger weights. It's a very cultural thing here at CrossFit Edwardsville to get the movements right and do the movements with excellence. So in any program, if you're moving badly and fastly, the chance of you hurting yourself is higher. That said, if you're actually doing CrossFit movements with great form, caring about form, you'd be safe. And this is not just me saying this. There's also well-established data that literally every single popular national sport, from baseball to soccer to football to hockey, every single one of them has a higher injury rate than CrossFit. So if you consider running to be a safe activity, I've got good news for you. CrossFit is demonstrably, measurably, and has been proven to be safer than distance running. the news is very good for you. CrossFit is safer than every single one of those sports that I just mentioned. If you consider those sports to be a safe activity, congratulations. CrossFit is safer than all of them, and you're going to have a great time at CrossFit. But let's continue on with ChatGPT's answer. Number 2, this is bullet point number 2, ChatGPT's second concern, lack of emphasis on technique. Some argue that CrossFit prioritizes completing workouts quickly and achieving high intensity over proper technique and form. Inadequate attention to technique can increase the likelihood of injuries and long-term health issues. If we just look at the latter part of this, inadequate attention to technique, and this is Coach G speaking, by the way, now, and I'm now interjecting my editorial. Inadequate attention to technique can increase the likelihood of injuries and long-term health issues. Absolutely, that is undeniably true. So the question is then, are we at CrossFit prioritizing going quickly and intensity over technique and form? We are not. I don't want to beat a dead horse. This is reinforcing what I said in the first bullet point. At our gym here, the coaches literally require us to learn to do the movements well first before pushing to lift bigger weights or go faster. And I really mean this, like they would legitimately hold us back if our movement is not good. They'll take weight off of our bar. They'll give us smaller weights to use if we're not moving with excellence. So if you're moving well, this is Coach G's perspective. If you're moving with excellence, if you're moving well with good technique, good form, you're accumulating fitness and you'll be safe. All right, let's continue. Inconsistent coaching quality. This is ChatGPT's third concern with CrossFit. Inconsistent coaching quality. The quality of coaching at CrossFit gyms can vary widely. While many CrossFit trainers are highly knowledgeable and experienced, others may lack proper qualifications or may not provide sufficient attention to individual participants, increasing the risk of injury or ineffective training. I'm going to go and say I agree with ChatGPT on this one, that the quality of coaching that you get at a CrossFit gym can vary widely. Each CrossFit gym across the nation, across the world, is its own little community. And while there's common language, common lingo, common exercise that we use, the culture of each gym is a little bit different based on who the leadership of that CrossFit gym is. And unfortunately, many people that run CrossFit gyms are athletes that think like athletes. They don't necessarily think in terms of quality movement at the same level that professional coaches do. So the experience you get at Gym A or Gym B, they could be wildly different experiences. Our gym has a structured approach to every workout. The coaches make us warm up every time. They make us stretch every time. We do movement practice before putting weight on the bar. And all of those things are signs of quality coaching. Does the CrossFit gym that you visit do warm-ups and stretching to help you be warm and ready and loose and prepared for doing fitness? If it does, you're probably in a gym that is promoting high quality coaching. Do the coaches know your goals and do they tailor your exercises accordingly? If you do, you're probably in a higher quality gym. So inconsistent coaching quality, this is true. I have traveled America. I have done CrossFit at many CrossFit gyms, and the experiences do vary extremely widely depending on where you go. You have to visit the gyms that have the same values as you, and you'll probably notice by visiting a few different CrossFit gyms that there are gyms that you feel more comfortable with because their style resonates with you. So a thought on that. Let's go now to ChatGPT's point number 4, problems with CrossFit. Point number 4. Now, ChatGPT, I'm reading from here, potential for overtraining. The intense nature of CrossFit workouts, combined with the culture of pushing oneself to the limit, may lead to overtraining if not properly managed. Overtraining can result in physical and mental fatigue, decreased performance, and increased risk of injury. Yeah, I mean, if you are the kind of person who does that, or if you have coaches that push you to do that, could you overtrain? Sure, you could overtrain. Now, that said, I feel very fortunate at CrossFit Edwardsville. Our head coach writes structured 6-week progressions in micro, meso, and macro cycles where we gradually increase our exercise volume. We gradually increase the loads that we lift. When we're new to CrossFit, anybody new to CrossFit will have a gradual increase in the intensity they're allowed to do in a workout. So in a gym that has intelligently designed, structured, progressive programming, this would not be a concern. I'm proud to say that at CrossFit Edwardsville, this is not a concern. All right, point number five, and there's 7 points total from ChatGPT. So I might try and speed this up a little bit to see if we can't wrap up the podcast a little bit sooner. Number 5, excessive focus on competition. CrossFit promotes a competitive atmosphere, which can be motivating for some, but may also lead to individuals pushing beyond their capabilities to keep up with others. This can lead to compromised form, increased injury risk, and an unhealthy obsession with performance. It is true that in CrossFit gyms, there is a focus on performance. We treat ourselves as athletes, and our training is engineered toward increasing and improving our performance. If you're the kind of person that does do well and thrive in a kind of competitive environment, that's an asset to the CrossFit style. It does harness competitiveness in a positive way. It's also important, though, that you know your coach knows you, because we have often found that for a lot of the best athletes, the best thing the coach can do for them is require them to kind of pump the brakes a little bit. Say, hey, you're not yet ready for this level of the exercise, of the workout. You're going to do this level of the exercise or the workout. With proper coaching and guidance, you can channel competitiveness in a positive way and see negative consequences from it. So moving on. Number 6, lack of customization. CrossFit workouts are typically designed for a broad population and lack customization for individual needs and goals. This one-size-fits-all approach may not suit everyone, and individuals with specific requirements or limitations may not receive the attention that they need. Not a concern here at our gym. The coaches will moderate and modify the intensity to the person, the load to the person we do a lot of percentage of max lifting at CrossFit Edwardsville, as well as volume. In today's workout, for example, there were sets of 20 wall balls, but we had people in the room that had a different prescription. They would do 10 wall balls if they had lesser capacity than some of the other athletes. At CrossFit Edwardsville, the coaches even sub-engineer the workouts to have a strength bias for people for whom that is their goal, an endurance bias for people who have that as their goal, or an aesthetic, a body recomposition bias for people who have that as their goal. So one of the cool things with CrossFitting here at CrossFit Edwardsville is that there's a high level of customization and individualization that is possible for people who want it and simply ask the coach for it. Next, number 7, cost and accessibility. Joining a CrossFit gym can be expensive compared to traditional gym memberships. Additionally, the availability of CrossFit gyms may be limited in certain areas, making it less accessible to some individuals. So this is definitely true that CrossFit gyms, you're paying for a coaching experience. You're not paying for access. If you go to a traditional gym, you're paying for access. You're paying to have the gym allow you to come in and use their equipment. CrossFit gyms, especially ours, is a coaching experience. It's not so much a gym as it is a coaching experience. At CrossFit Edwardsville, you're paying to have a coach to listen to you, know your goals, tailor a program to you, and create an environment that is more exciting, more motivating, more effective than the average gym experience. And that program, that kind of quality, that kind of experience, it's more valuable than just access. So it does cost more. But there's an expression in the world, the more you pay, the more you pay attention. When you're more invested financially with your health, you'd get more out of it. You get what you pay for. So yeah, does CrossFit cost more? Absolutely. Is it worth it? Hell yes. Here is ChatGPT's closing thought. It's important to note that while these concerns exist, many people have also found success, community support, and improved fitness through CrossFit. Like any fitness program, it's essential to approach CrossFit with caution, seek proper coaching and instruction, and listen to your body to avoid potential issues and injuries. Absolutely. That's a good closing thought. So if you're interested in learning more about CrossFit Edwardsville, you can visit us and find us on all of the socials. Then, when you're ready, come find us at CrossFitEdwardsville.com. You can book a no sweat conversation to talk to us and learn about what your own unique CrossFit journey looks like. So this is Coach G signing off. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.